Hi again, welcome to engVid.com. I'm Adam. In today's lesson, we're going to look at some grammar point that is very important, mostly because it's very confusing to a lot of people. We're going to look at the 4 different uses of ing words. Now, I don't want to say ing verb because that makes it a little confusing as well. Because the ing, words that end in ing, could be used as nouns, as verbs, as adjectives, and as adverbs, okay? So we're going to look at how they are used in each way. So first we're going to look at them as they are used as nouns. Now, technically, in whatever situation you're seeing an ing word, it's always a verb, but it could be used as a noun, in which case it is called a gerund. Now, this is a grammar word. You're never going to use this word outside of your grammar class, but in case I refer to it again, a gerund is an ing word being used as a noun. So if we're looking at this sentence, wearing loose pants while riding a bicycle is dangerous. So here is your gerund. So the subject of this sentence is wearing. The verb is. Okay? Wearing is dangerous. Wearing loose pants is dangerous. And then everything else I'll talk about in a second. Now, a gerund, ing, is basically the activity of the verb. So to wear means like to have clothes on. Wearing a blue shirt makes me look taller, maybe, or shorter, because I'm on camera, you can't tell, right? Okay, wearing is the activity. Smoking is the activity. Running is the activity. To run is the idea of the action. Okay. Now here, this word is actually not a gerund, and it's not really a verb either. It has the verb idea, but it is actually a participle, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Okay. So this is a participle, this is a gerund, just the activity itself. Noun. So we're going to call it a noun for now. Then we have the verb, the everyday verb in the continuous tense. Past, present, future, continuous. Always with a be verb. Okay. If you don't see an ing verb connected to a be verb, then it's not a verb. It's one of the other uses. Okay. There's always going to be a be verb when you're using it as an actual verb, as an action. The man is riding a bike. Right now, this is what he is doing. He is riding a bicycle. Oh, sorry. I'm running still. I forgot it. The verb. Okay. So be verb, continuous verb, easy. That's the one everybody's the most comfortable with. Now, we can also use it as an adjective. Wearing a blue backless dress, the actress created quite a stir at the party. Now, wearing is your participle, your active participle. We also have past participle, which is used in the passive form, but we're going to talk about that in a different lesson. Wearing here, I'm describing the actress, okay? So if I want to open it up, if I want to write it in a different way, the actress who was wearing, because I'm in the past, so I have was, the actress who was wearing a blue backless dress created quite a stir. So the participle is just a reduced adjective clause, okay? What I do is I take out the conjunction, the pronoun and subject. I take out the be verb. All I am left with is the participle. Now, because I have only the participle phrase, it's not a clause anymore. There's no subject and verb anymore. There's just a phrase. I can put it at the beginning of the sentence as long as the subject of the participle is the same as the subject of the independent clause. Okay? Now, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can watch the video about adjective clauses. You can watch the video about independent clauses. You'll get a better idea of what these are. Okay? So, adjective. Now, where it gets confusing is I can do the exact same thing, but I can use it as an adverb. Okay? Not wanting to miss our flight, we arrived at the airport 3 hours early. This is 3 hours. Sorry, I had to reduce a little bit. So here. Now, you've probably heard never to use the word want with an ing. That is true in this case. Never use want wanting as a verb, but you can use it as a participle, okay? Now, what does this mean? As we didn't want, or because we didn't want, both okay. As we didn't want to miss our flight, we arrived at the airport 3 hours early. Now, you're thinking, what's going on here? Okay, so here's our negative, here's our negative. First, let's get that out of the way. Now, what I'm doing here, again, I'm reducing, excuse me, I'm reducing an adjective clause, an adverb clause to an adverb participle. We can only do this when the conjunction, as, because, since, in this case, is very, very obvious. I'm sorry about that. When the conjunction, when the relationship between the two clauses is very obvious, we can take out the conjunction and we can take out the subject and the verb and leave only the verb and make it a participle. And then we have a participle phrase and we can put that at the beginning of the sentence again. So not wanting, this word wanting includes the conjunction, the subject, and the verb, all of them squeezed into this participle. Now, this might be a little bit confusing. Don't worry. I will create a separate lesson for participles. I know they're difficult, but I just want you to show you the 4 uses of ing. So if you see ing words and you're just not sure how they're used because they don't look like a verb, think, is it talking about the activity? Is it with a be verb as a verb? Is it describing something? Is it modifying a noun? Or is it showing you a relationship to another clause, to the independent clause especially? Now, the most common one, and this is probably the most difficult structure, I guess you could call it, for a lot of people, is the perfect participle. Having finished his meal, Tom went out for a walk. The having is, again, a participle. After he finished his meal, Tom went out for a walk. Same idea. It's an adverb participle, a perfect participle. We'll talk about that in another lesson. For today, I just wanted you to understand the 4 uses of ing. When you're reading something you're not sure you understand, look at the context. What is this word doing in this sentence? Once you know that it could be all 4 parts of speech, much easier to guess its meaning. Okay? Good. So I hope you like that. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any questions about this lesson, please go to engVid.com, join the forum there. You can ask me questions. You can also take the quiz on engVid.com. And yeah, I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.